Yo! What's cracking? Back with another episode of the Specktators podcast. I'm your host, Packy, alongside Q the Bars.
Hey.
Dirty Dish Rag.
Yeah.
Moe-T.
Sup?
Hello. Good evening.
Episode 71. Wednesday, July 3rd, 2019. Everybody got the day off tomorrow? Anybody got Friday?
I was dumb as fuck and didn't take it. Shoulda.
Is what it is, man.
Because I'm about to be in there like,
Drunk?
I'm ridiculous.
Oh, I'm ridiculous, you know?
Banger.
That was the banger.
This shit is fucking ridiculous.
What are you guys getting into tomorrow? Lake, probably.
Ooh, Lake Lane's Burger. Might have to swing through them thing. No dang.
For sure.
Fireworks tonight out by my crib on the Westy.
You're in that hot spot.
The best of the hot spots, man. I sat on my back deck and look up.
That's dope.
No ceilings.
You don't got to pay for it?
Hell no.
What if they came and tried to...
Hell no. I say, nah, I've been in this bitch for a minute.
So I remember last time when we ranked the holidays, we forgot 4th of July.
Did we?
I love the 4th.
Or at least I did. Where would you throw it in there just off top?
Well, it's got to be pretty high, I think, because it's summer. It's like the only fucking...
It's right after Thanksgiving.
Not mad at that.
I can see that.
It could low key be first, which is insane that I forgot about it and it's first. But
Could be first.
Could definitely be first.
I just
grilling.
Not really a holiday. I mean, it is, but but it's not like Thanksgiving, like where you.
Right.
I always
whole
associate it
family
with the
type of
weekend. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the fourth weekend.
Yeah.
It's not
That's
really
right.
like the one day that everybody gets together or anything like that.
Yeah, I guess that's where. Well, maybe that's where it differs from some of the other.
I feel like you get together to party. Like you don't get together to like have a family gathering.
And it's normally
that's
just
why
like
it's
a
dope.
cottage thing
Right.
that like everybody like goes up and
Right.
picks the day that
It's
they
just-
want to go.
They go
It's
to
very
a lake.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
You go
very
to
Michigan holiday.
Higgins.
Maybe that's one of the aspects. I wonder if people outside of like the Midwest, Michigan specifically, if it's as dope for them as it is for us. Because dude, we just go post up by the lakes,
For real.
Yeah.
hit the old pontoon.
Get some keystone.
Are you guys? Are you? Are you guys fireworks guys?
No.
Nah, it's kind of...
They're just kind of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
Like,
know.
it's cool. It's like dope. It's a dope concept. And how they can make certain designs and shit, that's really cool.
I think I'm with you. Like, I'm not a fireworks guy, but I'd miss them if they weren't there.
Yeah.
Like, it's just part of the 4th.
Because you can throw them bitches in anywhere, too. You know, like, you win something, boom, throw some fireworks. You know,
Yeah.
they're
The night's winding
celebratory.
down. You're faded.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's like, oh, fireworks. All right. I don't want
Yeah,
to go to
getting
bed.
Eaten alive by mosquitoes.
Did we put New Year's in when we were
We
talking
had that
about
up there.
New Year's
Yeah.
is dead fucking last.
What?
Dead fucking last.
I had it
New
up
Year's.
there.
What?
New Year's is so
I don't know
whack.
about dead fucking last.
Yo, any
No,
day I
not
get
last, but
to
it's
not do
pretty
shit.
shitty.
It's better than Easter.
Yeah.
It's better than Valentine's Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even a holiday. Not even.
It is a holiday.
No.
There's only 2 holidays today: Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Pretty much.
Weight and lifting.
Yeah. If Instagram is still down tomorrow, do you think people will just go to work?
No, I
'Cause
think
what's
people
the
will
point?
jump off the freaking bridges. they
They
can't.
can't post pictures.
What do I do? I can't post pics of fireworks. The default
probably
firework
why
pic
they're
you see
doing
every
that.
When did
year.
I get this summer bod for?
That's probably why they're doing it.
Probably an experiment.
Yeah.
A social experiment
Dude,
is what it is.
People could go
The
insane.
gummy and watching
People
y'all.
already insane.
I didn't even know about it. I was like, oh, word.
I went to.
Sweet.
Dude, I was the same way. I was like, why are my pictures not loaded? Oh, well. And then I
Yeah.
never checked it again. All
When
day.
nobody, when it was 6 o'clock and I was here ready to work and nobody was here, I went to go post on Instagram.
This is
and
the
it
other day.
just- It just wasn't posting.
And then did you contemplate killing yourself?
Yeah, I was like, well, fuck. In the video, I say 6 o'clock and nobody's here. It's not gonna post until 6:05.
How's anyone supposed to know I'm the only one here?
God.
Man. Get some peace about you. Enjoy this time, y'all.
All right, what do we got going on?
A lot of moving and shaking in the league.
Yes, lot of moving and shaking in the league. Let's get to that because I know that's for big on
Dags was pumped about this.
high on Dags' agenda. Dags is super interested in the Josh Jackson Kyle Korver trade. Was on the edge of his seat talking to us about that. But no, you were like, why are they getting rid of Iggy? Why are they getting rid of Korver? I think they're just embracing the youngness, free up salary cap space.
Well, I know, but why'd you get him in the first place then?
I'm guessing to free up. I don't remember what the Iggy trade, like what they gave up, but I'm guessing they're just freeing up cap space. And they got Josh Jackson in the Kyle Korver.
How fucking pissed if you're Iggy? Well, I mean, I'm sure they knew, but like, if they just were like, all right, you're coming to Memphis. All right, and then we're buying you out.
He probably knew. It's like and he's probably happy. He's selling now he can go. Now he's a free agent or whatever, and he can go wherever.
What does he get for that? Anything? I mean, he's got to get something, right?
I don't know what the deal is. I assume he's just, if they buy out his contract, I assume he just becomes a free agent then. But I don't know how it works exactly.
Yeah, that's what I guess I need to know
LA,
more
he
about
goes.
that. Yeah, he's going to LA.
Dude, I'm happy to hear it sounds like, because for a while they were saying Kawhi to the Lakers.
Now it sounds like he's re-signing.
Now it sounds like he's staying in Toronto, which.
It does?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
That was the latest.
He was going to go for like
joint.
one of my more likable guys to literally my least favorite player in the league.
I know.
Because of that.
Honestly, I could understand that, especially how you look at balance, which I appreciate. Kawhi is one of those dudes where I don't even think I could fucking dislike him.
Is he from LA?
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Compton, I think, specifically.
I can understand that at least. If he were to go there. But the main reason, just as a fan, I'm happy he didn't, is, dude, with KD being out, with the Warriors not really being what they were, blah, blah, the league's kind of up for grabs next year.
Sweet.
And if Kawhi went to the Lakers, it'd be Lakers to lose, period.
Yeah.
And Lakers might be the favorite already without him or up there.
And 2K20 on pre-order right now. It's just about. I can't wait for that.
Dude, I mean, who's the favorite?
I think Lakers are right now.
Is it? It's got to be like Lakers, Bucks,
Yeah, they're up there.
or Toronto if Kawhi stays.
Yep.
But yeah, it's gonna be dope. So the big news is the Nets.
Yep.
You guys got any hot takes on that?
No, it's
The
pretty
Nets
cool.
should have got Kemba instead of Kyrie.
I hate Kyrie.
I don't hate
Hate
Kyrie.
him.
I like Kemba more.
How do you
He's
think
going
they'll
to
do in Boston?
I don't know. Good, probably
Because they don't have Horford now.
Sweet.
Do you think
Horford's
Boston
on
will
the
be,
fucking Sixers.
Yeah, dude. Okay, let's get first things first. Do you think Boston will be better, worse, or the same with Kemba instead of Kyrie?
I think the same.
Probably pretty close to the same.
Okay.
I would think they'd be a little bit better because the team will gel better.
Although I guess losing Horford, then
Yeah, but
that's a tough loss.
Rozier's out of there.
Rozier's out of there. Where'd he go? New Orleans.
no, not to New
Somebody in the
Orleans.
chat, let us know.
Dang. Moe-T, find out where Terry Rozier went.
He got a shit ton of money
Did he?
for Terry Rozier.
It was one of those years where
Scary
they were
Terry.
they had money, where teams had money, where
I think he went to Charlotte.
Hornets.
I was gonna, okay. I was gonna say that. I was like, maybe not.
All right,
cool.
then you mentioned Horford to the Sixers.
yeah,
They're gonna be big.
big.
Ben Simmons at point, Tobias Harris at the 3, and Horford and Embiid down low, and then who the hell ever at 2, like Josh Richardson maybe. But I think it's gonna be interesting. I think they're gonna be really good. But I've said it on the pod before, dude. I think in the NBA these days you got to be able to shoot.
And they send JJ to freaking New Orleans.
They lost JJ and they lost Jimmy, who even though Jimmy's not a knockdown shooter, he's probably one of their better shooters.
Yeah, he's a dog.
Yeah, he is a dog.
And fucking Ben Simmons won't shoot the ball.
No,
It's
Can't shoot.
can't shoot.
won't.
I'm a big Tobias fan, but he and Embiid are probably their best 2 3-point shooters in the starting out of those 4.
Mhm.
So
They'll
they'll be
probably
interesting though.
Pistons got D Rose.
So that's the Pistons issy
Ever.
move.
Yeah,
ever.
I was
least
saying
they
last
got
week
him
they were
for
gonna
cheap.
max him exactly because I'm
Like-
like we fucking would just
I
sell the arena.
like grabbing him for the price we got him for. If we would have paid a shit ton of money for him, then I would have been pissed because you never know if he's gonna play or not. But if you get him for some money and hopefully he plays a good amount of games and shit, and like you can't not like D Rose.
No, I love D Rose.
Yo, so D Rose and Blake Griffin, the 2 most hurt dudes in the league.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the thing is with the Pistons, I love D Rose. I also loved Tracy McGrady. I also loved Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
We just get him on our team way too late.
I agree. I think this is a little better than those ones, at least, just because he's not so far gone.
Yeah.
But he's
he
coming
was
off a
balling.
solid year,
Yeah,
too,
for
which is
sure.
nice.
Yeah.
And then, to Blake's credit, he was playing through injuries finally. So, like, at least he is tough enough to, like, try and play through some things. He's not just the dude that's just out to be out.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like he was for a little bit. So, who knows? Like, on paper, I like that squad.
I don't.
I don't either.
I mean,
I'm more likely to go to a game to see it.
Well, and not to mention, we all know I hate Reggie Jackson. So
I hate Reggie Jackson.
If we bring in a point guard, I like Derrick
Schmurda.
Rose better than Reggie Jackson.
yeah, fuck yeah.
But dude, I thought too. Maybe I'm just obsessed with shooting. But dude, point guards are scorers these days. So now we have 2 point guards that aren't great. Reggie Jackson's Derrick Rose ain't like a 3-point shooter. He can make them, but they just get to the bucket for the most part. I don't know, man.
You got Blake, 3-point shooter.
I mean, he's
Luke
probably one of our
Kennard.
better ones.
I know.
I like Kennard as just like a piece in the lineup.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not gonna be a stud, but
McQuaid.
Yeah.
we're gonna have Kennard and McQuaid. Dude.
They're kind of like
That's
the
most
exact same
Piston-ish
person.
shit ever too.
Except Kennard way
I ain't mad
better.
at the but
So Nets are gonna be my least favorite team because I'm not a big Kyrie or Durant guy.
Yeah. Agreed.
I'm definitely rooting against the Lakers.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, I do like DeAndre Jordan though, who the Nets. So, I mean, but I'm gonna have to root against him. Sorry.
DeAndre Jordan.
He hasn't been relevant since he was on the Knicks, dude.
I know.
But I think he'll be relevant now. Pelicans will be fun to watch with JJ. That was a big pickup to me
Big
because they had
team.
Lonzo and
They got Duke starting 5 if they want it.
do they? Who do they
Yeah.
have?
Frank
Zion and
Jackson,
JJ.
Zion, Ja.
Ja, dude.
Yeah, he's a bum. He's a bum, but
where's
And-
Ja?
yeah. JJ.
Ja Pachulia. Last piece that we didn't mention: D'Angelo Russell to the Warriors.
I like that
Interesting.
actually a lot.
They're talking about maybe trading him, but then they were talking about keeping him long term. I don't know.
I want him to keep him. I
could
think that'd be
see
nasty.
it.
I like it with Clay out.
Yeah, they gonna play no defense.
Yeah. I like it with Clay out. I think they had to do it. They had an opportunity to get him.
They got a new arena.
Yeah, no KD, no Clay for a while. Like I think they had to get a guard in there, and I'm not. He balled last year.
Yeah,
an
he's
all-star.
nice. He's real nice.
Yeah.
As long as he keeps the fucking celly out the hotel rooms, he'd be straight.
Will
Right.
the Warriors make the playoffs?
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh, who'd the Blazers get? They got
Hassan
someone.
Whiteside
That's a kind of, and they let go of Canner.
Cancer.
and Myers Leonard and Seth Curry. I think.
Yeah, Seth
Yeah.
went to Dallas. Was he on Dallas like
Yeah.
2 or 3 times?
Is he on Dallas
I
again?
think so.
Dude, so much moving and shaking.
Yeah, the whole league's different.
Everybody.
That's what's so kind of dumb about it. Is it seems like it's like the same teams. They're just on different teams. But it's the same.
It is kind of.
Well, 'cause
I
there's
can't
no-
lie. It's kind of exciting though.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
definitely.
mean-
Just switch it up a little bit.
Yeah. I can't be too mad at it.
No, that's cool.
Music. I don't want to go outside is officially out.
Hey.
I hope you guys have been streaming that,
Yes,
playing that.
sir.
Moe-T, we got some I don't want to go outside merch on the way.
Yeah. Just gotta decide what I want to do.
Woj bomb.
All right, we have some bad news regarding merch.
Okay.
Moe-T, do you want to be the bearer?
Yeah, they can't see your face. Explain.
Yeah, that's way better.
Yeah, it is.
No, the shorts have been in the mail for like the last 2 weeks. Almost 2 weeks. And because of different things with the manufacturer and everything like that, they're delayed now.
But it's
So-
like half of them.
Ba-bum.
But it's like half of them. It's not everybody. And it's impossible to tell based on the tracking numbers. So just check your tracking numbers and see if you're part of that. But I sent out a mass email letting everybody know what the situation is. So if you haven't checked your email,
Yeah, so
Check it.
if you ordered the red ones or the white ones, We know a lot of you ordered them for the 4th of July.
Right.
Just check your email, and we'll make
You
sure.
ain't getting it.
Yeah. We'll make sure we hook you up because obviously that's
Thanks,
Find
Mo.
a new outfit for the 4th.
the shorts are gonna come to you. So
Right.
it's not like we'll just can't like
Because they're in
cancel
the
them.
mail. They're
Right.
literally in the mail system.
But respond to the email. We'll make sure we hook you guys
Floating
up.
in the cloud.
They're in the cloud.
We'll get you
They're
right.
in the
because-
USPS cloud.
We'll get you right because we know that's if you ordered them for the 4th and you don't get them for the 4th, that's bullshit. So just hit us up and we'll make sure you get taken care
Get them
of.
for Labor Day, boys and gals. Here we go.
Yep.
All right. Oh God, thank God that bad news is out of the way.
That's pretty heavy, man. I don't know. It's kind of lingering.
All right, more music. Dags, our resident Ricky Rose ambassador. How are you feeling about the music so far?
The last track was fucking sick.
The Just Blaze joint.
Yeah.
Just
That shit
Blaze?
is so dope. That's like my favorite kind of Rick Ross music. Like I love the luxury beats, but I like the luxury beats that are a little harder. And that's exactly what that was. And Act a Fool was straight. Wale is just not my favorite rapper.
Weren't we talking about that when Dags
Man.
wasn't here?
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
Not my favorite rapper at all. And real quick, side tangent.
Go.
That what's that fucking song Wale put out with Megan Thee Stallion? I think it was her.
Is it Gemini? Or is
No, it was on the
that
it was on the
myself.
radio. It's like workout,
What is the radio?
workout, da 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 da
Next
da.
thing you put the aux in.
Wait, what's it
Or
like?
Bluetooth up to.
Whatever. Pole dance. It's called pole dancer.
Okay.
You guys clearly haven't heard it.
No.
I haven't even heard
That
the radio.
beat is so fucking tight. I don't know how you could fuck it up, and Wale fucks it up bad.
I gotta hear
It's
it now.
horrible. He's offbeat the whole time. Just bad.
Off beat?
Yeah, it's just weird. It's awkward. The lyrics suck. He just goes, literally, I wasn't joking when he goes, da 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 da. And like when you could stutter that shit through a program,
Is he
he
like,
like
da, da,
does
da,
it
da,
with his
da,
mouth.
da, da.
And I hate that. Anyway, so the Ross track was tight. Jeezy came out with a song today.
Did it?
Yep, it's
Who
called,
produced it?
don't know. I only heard it once, and I was at work. It's tight though. Typical Jeezy.
Speaking of producing,
Banger track.
Just Blaze is one that you can always tell a Just Blaze track.
Just play.
Yeah,
Like the shit is just big and like
Yeah.
glorious.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
for sure.
Is it called One Time?
Yes.
One time with the one time.
Yeah, it's the typical. It's like very. So he's got Thug Motivation 104 coming out.
Oh,
Very that
interesting.
Okay.
vibe.
Okay.
Just like
fuck, I was gonna ask you something.
big songs.
Big old song.
Big old song.
Big old
When's he
bounce
gonna-
and bubbly songs with the booty
Big old boss and booty chicks with a banana and a biscuit and some bacon. When's the album gonna drop?
He hasn't announced
104?
yet.
I feel like the
104.
Is it
no,
coming soon?
Ricky.
Oh.
Oh.
Rose.
I feel like the streets have been waiting.
Yeah, they have, and he
Like
fucked us all
like
with that
Pollard
one. With that one tweet where all he said is "Port of Miami," hashtagged it, and everyone was like, "That shit's coming out at midnight."
Port of Miami.
Even I was like,
Port of
"Midnight,
McKinney.
let's go," and it didn't. Port of Miami too, though. Let's go.
I definitely like the new joint, the Just Blaze joint,
Yeah.
better than the Wale. one.
Active Fool
Yeah.
was. Is that what it's called?
Gypsies.
I think it's called that. Active Fool.
That's you talking about the Wale one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right. I played it once and then never
Act
played it
Up.
again.
Act Fool. Something like that.
The Luda
Whatever.
song
It's
is
good
Active
until
Fool.
fucking Wale starts rapping.
Walero.
At least he's at the end, so you can skip it. That's what we were talking about a couple weeks ago. Like it's strategic
How to
you
order
gotta,
the tracks.
Yeah, organize your shit because if somebody fucks it up like that, your song's not gonna get played all the way through.
I feel like there was a lot of Dags music that's dropped. Did you listen to Freddie Gibbs?
No, I
Bandana.
haven't got to it yet.
I haven't either.
Neither have
I
I.
I
want
heard
to,
it's
though.
fucking
I
hard.
heard it. I heard he killed it.
I heard it's sick.
Very few Freddie shit that I dislike.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
pretty whole.
So,
Really hard.
there's a video of him with Kenny Beats. Like they kind of do like a kind of freestyle shit. He'll make a beat in 10 minutes,
Mm,
and then they'll do write whatever and just record it. And his was hard,
dope.
hard.
All right, more Dags music. Mustard. Did you listen to it?
Mas I don't have eat.
No, I didn't even know he
Dropped
dropped.
a 10-track project.
Nice. What's
Called-
it called?
Perfect,
Perfect
10. The last track is with Neighborhood.
I heard good things.
Nice.
I only got through like 4 or 5 songs, but it was
Who's on it?
Good question. I'll pull it up.
Oh yeah.
I know.
Probably all the West Coast YG and
Migos was on like
Ty Dolla.
one of the first
That-
records.
that's,
Then one of them has YG, Tyga, ASAP Ferg, and ASAP Rocky.
what's that one called? I think I've heard that one.
On God.
Yeah,
That might have been a single.
Yeah, that is a single. I think.
There's one with Nav, Playboy Cardi, and A Boogie with the hoodie. That's actually pretty fire.
Interesting.
It's actually pretty fire.
Nav put some shit out.
that. Walk out with my girl.
Yeah, he's got some joints, and the last one is Nipsey. So
I would imagine that shit's fire.
yeah,
Mustard's sick.
you got some shit to listen to on your 4th of July.
Yeah, tight.
All right, we got the dag stuff now. Q
Dreamville.
doc.
Yeah,
Thoughts,
it's just ill as
opinions,
fuck.
hot takes. I assume you watched it.
I did. Couple times, you know what I'm saying? It was sweet. I just like studio footage just in general. And to see all those people, and I didn't like even fuck with a lot of the people in there, but it was dope to see them in there. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I might do it. But it was dope to see Cole in that, like, because he was pretty like stern,
Yeah,
serious. You know what I mean? They had 10 days to do it, so I definitely understand it. But it was kind of a different side to him. You kind of see him, he's a little more, I don't know. He's like not as.
I feel like that's how he always is.
No, it's like it was almost like he was just home, motherfucker. Like with the beats, dude was playing beats. And he's like, nah, and he's like
a little more boss like than like big bro like.
Yes,
You know?
Yeah.
definitely.
Which makes sense too, because you watch that documentary and you realize just how it was like, let's get all these cats in here. And a bunch of that documentary, every person they interviewed was like, you got to be a go-getter. You got to, go get your time on the mic, go get your time on the beats, because if you just kind of fade into the back, you ain't getting shit.
Right.
And so if everybody's out there trying to do the most,
Mm-hmm.
you got to have someone, Cole, that's like this,
Yeah,
this,
for sure.
no,
For
this.
sure.
So, and because then they even talked about how then he had to step back from his like executive producer shit and get in his artist mode at different points. But
Yeah,
I'm with you. Like, I watched it, and my honest assessment was like, as far as a documentary goes, it wasn't like, oh, you got to go watch this doc. But
No.
I love behind the scenes music,
exactly.
stuff, like studio
Yeah.
footage.
It was literally just a compilation of behind the
Yeah.
studio footage.
Yeah, so
But
it was
so
super
sick.
dope to me.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that stood out to me as cool was, remember when they first started doing those sessions
Mhm.
and everyone was posting the invite?
Yeah,
It sounded like on the documentary that was just kind of a random idea Cole had to just invite people.
Mhm.
And it wasn't supposed to be like this big thing. He
Right.
just was like, it'd be cool to send out invites.
Mhm.
And then it just becomes this viral shitstorm.
Yeah,
Dude, that shit is so cool. And it's like, I know Mo and I always talk about it, and you guys can relate for when we were doing our shit back in the day too, of like, you kind of have an idea and you don't even necessarily plan for it to be a specific thing, but the more you work and the more you do, like the more you're just out there active, shit just ends up kind of working out for you. And it sounds like that's kind of what it was. It wasn't supposed to be some big, this is going to go viral, these
Right.
invites. It was just like, oh, it'd be cool if we sent invites.
yeah,
And then it took over social media.
yeah. Because he was talking about people hitting them up.
Yeah.
that like didn't get invited.
Yeah.
but they're like,
And
"No,
it didn't
we
sound
don't
like it
do
was supposed to go that way. at all.
Exactly, but he was like, everyone is welcome, even though
Yep.
everyone wasn't invited or some shit like
Yep.
that.
I thought that shit was dope.
So that the project's dropping Friday. Revenge
Yep.
of the Dreamers 3. Finally
What'd you think of
together.
those last couple tracks?
I thought they were hard. I thought they were really hard.
Yeah. It was,
Costa Rica and Lambo Truck.
I wasn't as much into Costa Rica as I was. Costa Rica. That was a little much for me.
That shit drives me crazy.
Yeah.
But Jid is just fucking spazness.
He's pretty fire, man. You could even tell in those studio sessions that like people know he's the man.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
He's like this fucking tall, but he just has a presence about
Yeah.
him.
It
you
was
know?
like obviously Cole, and then I think you could kind of just even tell Jid he's the spitter, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. He's spaz on
And
that
it was
shit.
dope even to see like when he was working on Down Bad.
Yeah.
That's
'Cause
a
it sounded-
that's a joint.
I love that shit.
That shit is a joint, man. I've been playing that nonstop.
Because the whole shit that they played was like a little different. You know what I mean? It
Mhm.
wasn't like the exact lyrics he came
Mhm.
up with, but it was just, it's dope. That's why I love seeing this shit, how shit comes to be. Because obviously we remember how we create and how other people create is just sick. Watching somebody like Jay-Z just go in there and like.
Yeah. I'll be honest, it did make me miss because like over the years I've gotten to where my studio sessions are just me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it did make me miss some of the more collaborative shit we used to do and stuff like that. Like that last scene where they're just in there wilding.
That shit was tight.
Like in the studio, bro. In the booth.
Yeah.
That shit.
I
that
couldn't
shit
tell.
is
I
cool.
was at first when he was doing that. Buddy was doing that like British accent and shit. I'm like, is this like for real? Because it sounds like it's recorded. Then I'm listening and it's like, oh, they recorded all this. And he's like, like this is for real.
Yeah, it was pretty dope.
But it came out pretty hard. They were just going nuts.
Did you see it, Dags, or no?
No.
Did you watch it, Mo?
No.
Pretty cool.
Super cool.
All right. So we got the update from Dags. We got the update from Q.
Moe-T, new Eminem song. What do you think?
New Logic.
All right, Mo. Lil Nas X is gay. I mean, didn't we all know he ran a Nicki Minaj Stan account before?
Yeah.
I didn't
Are
know
we
that.
are we surprised?
I mean, I don't know if one is directly correlated with the other.
It is.
but
I can tell you it is.
I would think like he's just. I thought he'd just try to be popping or some shit like that. Yo, people are so fucking funny with their reactions and shit. They're like, oh my god. I don't give a fuck.
No, I don't give a fuck
give
either.
a fuck. That
I'm
shit
just saying,
still
in
goes
addition,
hard.
like I'm also not surprised.
Yeah, no, that's real. Yeah, who gives a fuck?
Mo, did you watch the Russ pull-up interview?
I
with Joe
did.
Budden?
That shit was sweet.
You did
That
too?
shit was dope.
Did you, Dags?
No, I meant to. I never got around to it.
Any thoughts from you guys that watched it?
Russ doesn't lie, man.
I thought it was pretty good. I don't even listen to Russ music, but I watched it because I respect what he does. I respect his grind. I respect all that shit.
You know, watching that interview, I finally figured out why everybody, like, Russ is just hated all over social
I've been
media.
knowing why.
Well, in
Explain.
like a sentence,
Okay.
he's like hip-hop's dad. Like, as far as, like, the way he talks.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, he thinks he has all the keys and everything like that. And
Yeah.
so he's talking down to everybody, which most of the time he's actually right too.
Mm-hmm.
But the way he comes off is
Yeah.
like, I know more than you and like
Right.
you should listen to me type of a thing. And everybody, hates when their dad does that to them when they're
Yeah.
young. So
He does talk very, very condescendingly and arrogant, though,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
which is why I get. But the thing with Russ that I've always said in that context is,
But just to add to that, like I don't necessarily like think there's a lot of things I know that it comes off of like condescending and arrogant, but then I step back and I'm like, why? Is it because we're the same age?
no,
2012.
I don't think it just comes off condescending and arrogant. I think a lot of it is. But my thing with Russ is if he wasn't abrasive like that and he just got it, like he said his message, but he said it in a very polite way, it would not get attention.
Right.
And so I'm not mad at the way he does it as long as he's telling the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but why? There's some statements that I'm like, I know people are going to come on the internet and be like,
Bro,
this
he-
is condescending and arrogant.
Bro, he
But it's
constantly
like,
says, if you blah, 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 you're a fucking idiot. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? You're fucking, like, it's like, okay, dude.
yeah,
Like,
that's like how your dad talks to you, though.
Yeah. That's real.
Are you an idiot? Why did you do that?
Yeah. No, that's some real shit, unfortunately.
but I'm saying it's like,
Not my dad.
you can't say it's not, there aren't aspects that are, and I'm not coming from one of those people that's like offended by it. I'm just saying I get it.
No, I know. I mean, I get it that it's a little bit like
I thought
too much, but
yeah.
at the same time, when you're talking about topics like that, you kind of have to like, because no one will pay attention to you.
I get
If
right,
you don't
that's,
do
that's
that.
what I was saying. Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It's just I had to watch it. I needed to watch it to like gain some clarity about this dude.
Yeah.
You know
So what
I'm
did
saying?
you think since you weren't like, I know Mo and I are like super familiar with
Yeah.
him and shit. What did you think as someone a little less familiar?
I appreciated it. He just seemed real. He just seemed like whoever the fuck he is.
Unapologetically real.
100%.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, word. And I agreed with a good amount of what he was talking about. And I appreciated whatever the fuck he's, his little grind, his gripe with Joe Budden, kind of how he went with that internet rumor as far as like,
Bro, I totally agree with that.
that was crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And I like that he didn't let him off the hook.
Exactly.
Either.
No, he's like, no.
Yeah, Joe was like trying to claim that he did his research and stuff. It's like, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't do any research.
Joe Budden, like a while ago when Russ was coming on Everyday Struggle, when Joe Budden was on it, I guess there was this thing going around that Russ's, just this internet thing, that Russ's dad like worked at Columbia and that's how Russ got his deal with Columbia, whatever, which is just a complete lie. There's not like any truth to it.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe Budden was like running with that. And in this interview with Russ now, he like, I mean, I don't even know if he apologized, but he was like, yeah, I was wrong. Like that information was wrong. But he was also saying, I mean, I did research. Like I thought it's like, bro, it was just a Twitter rumor.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know, and it was a big Twitter rumor.
And you obviously didn't do
like
any
a
like
Bell
real
Barbara
research
thing.
because it's just blatantly false.
Excuse me. And no, I thought eventually he like, because when Russ wouldn't let him off the hook, eventually he kind of like, all right, like my bad type.
But
shit.
he tried to get out of it.
He did a couple times.
And most people would have let him. But Russ being,
he's like, nah, you in my crib, bro.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because that is part of the problem with a lot of, we always talk about media and just people in general. Like you hear, and that's kind of Russ's big thing. Like, right, there's a whole half of the internet that just fuck Russ and all this bullshit, and people run with it.
Yeah,
and that's what sucks, and that's part of the reason Russ has to be the way he is too. Is it's because like he's got to defend himself. He's got to put the real shit out there, and I guess that brings me to one of the points I wrote down about that interview. Was when he was talking about how you have to crown yourself. Because he's always talking about his accolades and like his numbers and the tickets he sells to shows and his platinum album and stuff like that. And I was thinking about it because it's like, in general, I don't like that in people. And I was thinking about like athletes and stuff like that, and I definitely don't like it in athletes. But when I thought about it in that context, I was like, athletes, I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, but for the most part, if you're putting up numbers as an athlete, you're getting attention.
Well, it's a lot smaller playing field.
Yeah.
Like,
and
there's only one
is
NBA.
About numbers.
There's only one NBA, and only these people can play in it. In the music space, some fucking guy you never heard of can be doing shit like that.
Yeah.
Right. Hip-hop
because
is
there's
like
so much music,
all the sports,
and you don't have to be one place or another to be able to put out music or to have a following or whatever.
Well,
so I think it's just different. Like when fucking LeBron went on his own show and was doing all that shit, it's like unnecessary. We get it. We know. You know what I'm saying?
The biggest thing with LeBron I'll
like,
never let go is when he decided to talk to his younger self on his Instagram post.
Yeah.
Right.
On his 30,000 points or some shots.
I'll never let that one go.
But I do get it in the sense that like if somebody is just like picking a dude to ride their crank all day, and it's like this guy did this, and then Russ is like in an interview and he's like, well, I sold more records than him.
Yeah.
I got a bigger deal than him. I make more for shows than him.
And I think
blah, blah. And it's just like, okay, well, these are just facts at this point.
Dude, I think that's the main thing that I appreciate about Russ is, dude, Joe Budden came to his crib to do this interview, and Joe Budden still is not familiar with Russ's catalog.
No.
Joe Budden's a fucking...
Like, come on, bro. This is why Russ has to hype himself up so damn much, because even though he's got these crazy numbers, the like hip hop world and media that he's supposedly supposed to be in based off his music doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're not like familiar with his shit. Joe Budden came to his house to do an interview, and Russ was like, I'm about to play you something, one of his most popular songs. And Joe was like, all right, we got to cut here because it might be. Russ was like, it's my song. And he doesn't fucking know.
Right.
I mean,
no, I mean,
if you don't like a dude, you know what I'm saying? You're not even gonna try.
Oh yeah.
You know, so
but don't go to his crib
but
and
you
do an
probably
interview.
should
Then.
if you're
and
trying to interview.
I don't mean Joe Budden.
Right,
I don't mean
just
Joe
in general.
Budden. Just in general. Like the reason I'm not necessarily mad at. There's something to say for people like humble people, and when people aren't humble, they want to see people be humbled.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of how
Floyd
we are as
Mayweather.
humans. Anyone,
I
Tom
know.
Brady,
Yeah. Yeah.
LeBron James.
You know what though?
LeBron.
Because I think Russ's beef with the whole thing though is like in rap, especially. That's not necessary. That doesn't hold true.
Rap is braggadocious.
Like,
It's a competition.
but
Yeah.
but it's also braggadocious in Fantasyland. Like in like when they're talking about like he always says the clownery of in hip hop and stuff like that. Like everyone's bragging, everyone's talking out based on something that doesn't even exist.
And that's why I fuck with Russ. There's people that are getting advances, which are basically loans, which aren't their money, going and buying a fucking expensive ass watch, flexing it on Instagram, and
Right.
Russ is like, "Hey, I just sold out 10,000 tickets."
right. But everybody hates on Russ because he's said the real thing, but no one says anything to Joe Schmo rapper that's holding up the money phone
And-
of not his money.
And in fact, all the hip hop media, the biggest hip hop media outlets, are showing the fuckery.
Right.
I think that's where the chip on his shoulder.
But that's what I'm
resides.
saying is like it
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily hold true because all of it's braggadocious, but
Yeah.
everyone likes the fantasy braggadocious and not the real braggadocious.
No, because that's people like to escape. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? People, and I don't know, people like the real shit if it's not their real shit. Unless they like some real shit where it's like, oh, I can relate to that. But it's like, if you can't really see yourself in that situation, I don't mind listening to some crazy ass fucking shit that's like a fantasy to me.
Or if it's too real. If it's like, hey, this person like could be me, but they worked their ass off and fucking did all this shit and I didn't. That's a little too real. This person's just out here flexing on the gram and whatever.
right.
Like,
Exactly.
That ain't me. That you know.
Exactly. Absolutely. Which is why it's kind of fucked up how we as people, like human beings, we're like, we pray for people to be like, you want them doing well, just not better than you type shit. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
But that's how it is.
And which is why we like watching reality TV of other people's problems that don't even touch ours.
Exactly.
But as soon as you touch ours, then it's all of a sudden offensive and everything like
Right,
that.
because it's like that shit's so extravagant. They're like yelling. There's 20 fucking
Right.
known
This could
people.
never happen to me type of
Exactly.
shit.
You're just watching the fucking train
Yeah.
wreck.
Yeah, I just think like when I think about that shit, the numbers he does, and I know it's he says it enough. I don't need to say it, but the mixed, mastered, engineered, written,
Dude.
recorded, all by him.
Mm-hmm.
Platinum albums, selling out arenas, like, bro, that's
You have to
it's
respect that
it
shit.
is, and I think he is starting to get attention with stuff like this.
Yeah.
But dude, it's crazy that he's not mentioned amongst a lot of the big names.
No.
I mean, but
He's on
is
the
it crazy?
Forbes list,
You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. I agree with you 100%. But is it because this is the game? You know what I'm saying? The game is the fake shit. The real ones is dying. The fake ones is lit. If you're fucking the fakest shit ever, you're popping.
I mean, dude, who's the
In
biggest?
that regard, it is.
Who's
not
the biggest
crazy,
hip hop commentator? Probably academics.
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Fucked.
2 point something million. yeah,
And that says it all right there.
You just even if you don't fuck with them, it's like, oh, academic said.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
take
that's
him
what-
as a credible
yeah,
source?
That's. I mean, that is part. Yeah, that is part of the problem. But I think Russ.
Oh,
is,
that is so fucked.
I think Russ is doing it right too, with like only popping up here and there to do interviews, get his shit off, get the viral clips, go back in his hole to do his shit, and you know.
And I completely understand why he's so fucking mad because everyone in general wants to be appreciated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anyone with a girlfriend understands that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like just the little things. That's what they say, right? The little things. If you're working your ass off doing all this shit and people are just like, oh, you're a fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's like that has to be incredibly frustrating.
Oh yeah.
And when people just run with whatever people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about are saying, credible people like he was saying, you're Jalen Rose. And you're not supposed to be
Yeah, you can't. You're not supposed to be feeding into that. shit.
exactly because you know how it is.
It's a good point too.
It is.
Yeah.
Aside from the shit he was saying, I also just the interview in general. And I like Joe Budden as a
Personality.
as a hip hop personality now, like a media personality.
Yeah.
He's entertaining to me.
Mhm.
But as far as an interview goes, that interview, he didn't come in with any.
Oh yeah.
No,
he
he's
didn't,
like, why?
It was basically
Why? What makes you say that?
Russ might as well have
He
just been live.
Yeah, he was going
Yeah.
off the dome, is what it felt like.
Russ might as well have just gone live. He probably monopolized the conversation 97%
Like-
to 3.
Have you played Monopoly? What's 97 plus 3? Like just taking the shit he just said and like trying to make a quick question.
Yeah, it was not.
It wasn't even like a lead in type. It was.
Did you get the feeling in the interview that Joe Budden was like trying to get Russ to like prove himself wrong in the fact that he didn't make it the way that he keeps saying that he did?
Maybe, which is
Because I always felt like all the conversation went back. All right, so we're gonna start with the timeline of when you first started making music, and then we're gonna go all the way to now. And then he kept like pushing him back.
He's
into
like,
that.
wait.
Yeah. So what happened here? Like, where did you post this?
I feel like
blah
that's
blah
what
blah.
Joe Budden always does.
When did your dad
But it's
get
so-
hired at
if
Columbia?
If he believes something,
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought he was trying to get him to do. Like, there must be something in here that you're leaving out that you're not telling everybody, and I'm gonna get you to say it on here. But it never happened because it is his story. Like, that's what it is, and everybody's heard it that knows about him a million times.
Right. That's real.
But Joe Budden hasn't.
Or Joe Budden's fucking followers either. But now
That's
they do.
Joe Budden.
right.
You know,
Which is what I kept having to tell myself is like,
I'm
there's
glad
still
that
hella
happened
Yeah.
for Russ's sake.
I think it's gonna be. I think the more he can get into that world is gonna be good for Russ.
Yeah.
Because he's got his own shit.
Right.
But the more he can get into the accepted hip hop circle, the better for him. Did you guys see the Homicide video?
Yeah.
Logic and
I thought it was tight. They
super
fucking
super dope.
They got
clever,
squints.
You said it was dope. I haven't seen
They
it.
got squints to fucking play Logic.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the real and the okay when they first shot to him, I was like, oh man, he was rough. And then he shaved and all that shit. I'm like, damn, he looks like Logic.
It was really well done.
Shit.
Wait,
And then they got
is
Chris.
Squint's the one that's
from-
all big and jacked now?
I don't know if he's. No, I don't think so.
One of them. Oh, I think it's
Kissed
yeah,
Wendy
yeah. It's
Peppercorn.
yeah. It's yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
He's a
I could see him
fucking
being a
douche.
fucking-
Oh my
he
god.
he looks like a Jersey
They did an
Shore
interview
type
with him,
kid.
yeah, and he was like, he's just all fucking jacked, and he's like literally a
He's
Jersey
like, yeah,
Shore
yeah.
type of guy.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
a fucking just a fucking douche. Like you want to kill
Oh
him. type of
yeah.
guy. Anyway, sorry, keep going. Keep going.
No, it was just super. Because Mo and I were talking too, and I bet you they really couldn't get Eminem to
For
do the
sure.
video. And
What's
so
his name? Chris
D'Elia.
D'Elia.
And so they thought outside the box to try to do this. And it's always better when you just confront the issue.
Exactly.
And be clever with
For
it.
sure.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. And it was cool. And I really wasn't expecting Chris D'Elia to play Eminem either.
It was
and it
so
was pretty
good.
funny when he came into the scene. And
He did all the shit like
dude,
really
but
good.
he couldn't do it. They had to like speed up or slow down the lyrics because I was watching it and I was about to. Mo made me watch it and I was like, dude, do you think they did this on purpose? And you said you didn't think so, did you? Didn't you, Mo? As far as they had to slow down the lyrics for Chris D'Elia to even be able to rap them
Yeah.
because you could see his body moving like too fast.
Gotcha.
Right. Yeah, it's
Well, I thought it was like because
look at
that's how
look at-
M does his shit. Like
You can tell it's like slowed down and then sped
Yeah.
up to.
because M's body movement is like just like the fucking the E on the screen, the comic book
Yeah.
that like guess
No,
who's
it
back
is.
type. He's fucking jerky,
It is.
awkward type shit.
When he came into the scene with the like over the dead body, just with the fucking hair and shit, it was pretty funny.
it was good.
They did
It
a
was
good
really
job with
good.
that. And then having M actually
Yeah, they're look at that.
having M do the Chris D'Elia part at the end too was pretty good.
That's tight. All right.
Although I don't know why they didn't make M take his sunglasses off at the end.
I
to, like,
literally
prove it
couldn't
was
tell
him.
that was Eminem.
Yeah.
I could not tell. I didn't think it was Eminem.
Probably wasn't.
I don't
Probably
think it was.
wasn't.
I don't think it was.
It was Chris,
Guaranteed
It was
not.
Chris D'Elia.
With the blonde beard.
Yeah.
I don't believe that shit.
Have you guys heard anything about the Taylor Swift situation?
A little.
I just don't fuck with Taylor Swift in general.
Yeah,
but I'm
I
down
don't-
to
I don't
hear
care
what
at
the fuck
all.
is happening.
I'm just always interested in like ownership and masters and stuff like
Oh, is
that.
that what
I
it's
don't give
about?
a shit about Taylor Swift.
No,
but,
it's just a doik.
Loser.
Do you know anything about it, Mo?
No.
I was just looking at it a little bit before I came here, so I'm not an expert on the situation, but it sounds like Scooter Braun acquired Big Machine Records, which basically owns all of Taylor Swift's masters.
Okay.
And I think Taylor Swift's issue is that apparently she has a big issue with Scooter Braun. Like they're
Correct.
fucking mortal enemies or some shit. And she had beef that when Big Machine Records was sold, she didn't get the opportunity to buy her masters.
What a name, too. Big Machine.
Yeah,
That's a horrible.
I know.
Like,
Don't you
let's not
ever
even beat
sign-
her on
That's
the
like
bush.
exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Sell your
just call
soul
it like it
records,
is.
The devil.
Lucifer Records.
And when I was looking into it, I was looking into it a little bit, and dude, I feel like a lot of these situations I come in here with just, even though I'm all about ownership and independent artists, I come in here lacking sympathy for the big label artists. Because in Taylor Swift's situation, yes, does it suck that you can't own your masters? Does it suck that your masters are in the hands of somebody else? For sure. And
Does
she
it
said
suck that you're Taylor Swift?
that,
Probably not.
No.
yeah, I mean, that's what I was gonna say. Is
Right,
like
yeah.
she said something in one of her tweets or her posts, like, this is what happens when you sign. What did she say? I wrote it down. This is what happens when you sign a deal at 15. Okay,
Oh my
true.
God.
No, true though. Like, you sign a deal at 15, there are things that you may get taken advantage of with, like not owning your masters. That is a downside of the path she took, right? Now, what's the upside? You're Taylor fucking Swift. You're rich as hell. You're one of the biggest stars, celebrities on the planet.
Dude,
Yeah.
but that's like such a double.
Or you can be Packy and own your masters. Like, straight up.
dude, but
I just don't really want to hear it.
Every single time I hear something like that, though, I always compare it to like other jobs that people take at a normal age. And shit like that happens all the time. Like, you sign up for a job that you thought was something, and then they get sold or something like that, and then it turns into something else, and guess what?
You're laid off, buddy.
Right.
And now
Like,
that,
dude, that's what happens when you sign up for a job at 30. Like, no, that's just life.
and now does it not, like, that doesn't mean that it doesn't suck. Like, you go
Right.
create music,
Right.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
and the company gets sold, and you have the money. Like, let's say she's willing to pay whatever, like more than the person that bought it to own her masters. Does it suck that you didn't get the opportunity? For sure. Like, can you be like, damn, that sucks that I didn't get that chance? For sure. but don't go
And
on this rampage bitching about it.
That's Taylor Swift.
Oh
yeah, facts. But to say
That's like immature, though.
that's what happens. I guess that's what happens when you sign at 15. Is that what happens when you sign at 15? Or like, what if she signed at 18 or something? Usher signed at fucking 14,
That's my
12.
point.
It's
There's
like,
people that sign at 30 and the same thing happens.
Exactly.
That's my point, dude.
It happens
it's
to everyone.
fucking life.
Dude,
Yeah.
what have we talked about on this pod? When you sign, leverage. When she was 15, she probably didn't have. It's not about age. It's about what were you
Right.
at that point.
Bieber,
You were
I'm sure,
Yeah,
signed
you were
something.
just a talent. You didn't have any, like, and I don't know. I don't follow Taylor Swift, but I assume at 15 she was a talent. She hadn't, like, accumulated some big fan base and done all these things on
She
her
had
own.
a pretty big song when she was really young in
Bef-
country.
you think before she signed?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, I'm saying
But
before
she
she
must have
signed.
been. She was probably doing like the.
She's probably
country
performing in
music
malls
route.
and shit like Bieber.
Well, she was a country music act first.
Yeah.
So that's what you got to think about. Is she was probably, I don't know for sure, but she was probably going around playing shows, singing other people's songs, and doing shit like that. And then somebody was like, "Oh wow, like we can make $1 million off of this girl.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's young, she's
White.
attractive, she's
And-
whatever."
And who said that?
And that's what I hate about this situation is those people always get so vilified. And I'm not sitting here saying those people have the purest of intentions. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, do they in certain instances take advantage of these artists? Yes. Do the artists win in situations like Taylor Swift's?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would think so.
Yeah.
And majorly, Taylor Swift, if she doesn't sign, there's potential that she never makes it in music.
Right.
And now she's Taylor Swift.
She could start her own fucking label at this point.
Oh my God, dude, she can do whatever. She's a massive
Well,
star.
that's the thing is like she doesn't own the masters to her old songs, right? She owns all probably her new shit.
Yeah, I think she's into a new
Like-
deal.
So is the problem they're like putting all the old shit like up for streaming and stuff, and she
yeah,
wants
so
like,
she's
that
gonna
money?
make like a percentage of like
Instead
whatever
of all of
percentage
it.
they agreed upon. She won't get that. But like her shit it's not like rap. That's what I'm trying to get at. Is like Cushion Orange Juice isn't coming out on streaming now. Like all her shit is up.
Mm-hmm.
And not as many people are going back and listening to her songs from the very beginning as they are like Cushion Orange Juice, because it was never, you're not able to listen to it anymore, and shit like that. So I just think it's a little bit different in that aspect of like, however, she's been free from that for quite a while, I would think.
I don't think so. I
No?
think what I read was she has 2 songs that are not
Okay.
wrapped up in. Yeah.
Good to know. But I mean,
and I don't quote me on that, but I think that's what I read.
clearly she has done well.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's not like
even without owning her masters, whatever percentage that is,
right.
she's still raking.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And there's so many. When you're that big of a celebrity, I guess that's where I really don't have sympathy. Is like, let's say you made 0 money on the actual like distribution of your music, which isn't the case, but let's say it was. This day and age, more than ever, you're that big of a star.
Yeah.
There are so many ways for you to parlay that shit into loot. Like
Well,
sponsorships.
she could just put out a new fucking album, and people are gonna love it
Go
no matter what.
Yeah,
And
like
she does like kind of
And
like
she
exclusive
does a lot of
tour
touring.
things. Like I don't want to put her in the same fucking vein as Beyonce ever, but she kind of does like, she'll do like surprise shits and bundles and shit like that, and she sells out everything.
Yeah, I would I would think she's as big as Beyonce or close.
I mean,
Like-
she's like I don't know. She's like the next biggest thing, I would think.
that's why
Yeah.
there's certain artists that go through issues with labels owning their masters and bad label deals, and there are ones that are like, that is a fucked up deal.
Yeah.
That is, you guys are fucking this artist over, where they're not rolling in the dough, they're not whatever, and these labels are still eating off of them.
Mhm.
That's a totally different story than a Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
That's where I just.
And maybe I think she's probably just seeing the potential dollars. You
Oh
know what
yeah,
I mean?
and
Like,
that's what I mean.
it's-
They get so deep into their wormhole of who they are now.
right. She's missing
That's
out.
They lose
that's
sight.
always the argument whenever this comes about. Like it all stems from that. Like it really doesn't matter how shitty the deal is or anything like that. Like you could have the greatest deal or you could have the shittiest of deal, but they're all getting caught up in who they are now rather than who they were then.
Yeah.
And that's where it all stems from.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's not that I'm mad at her feeling that way at all.
No.
No,
it's
because it's
just
shitty.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
the same thing as what we said before. Like, dude, you can get pissed for getting laid off at your job. Like that's the same fucking shit.
and I
Like,
wish I had time to dig a little deeper into it too, because apparently she was really going at Scooter Braun like he's just the worst person in the world. And I know there were some people like co-signing her, and then there were some people like really coming to the defense of Scooter Braun. And
Like with anything.
yeah, and I tend to like believe that you don't make it to the point Scooter Braun did in the music industry and have clients like he does with just being the absolute devil.
No.
Now he's probably a smart business guy,
Yeah.
but
I don't know that I couldn't agree with that until I read more into it. But like,
Well,
I
he's
agree.
just
I didn't read
signing-
too far
he's
into
I thought you
signing-
were gonna say the opposite. I thought he was gonna say
Right.
you can't make it that far without being an absolute angel, because you can't. You
Yeah,
gotta
and I'm not
fucking-
saying Angel.
Right,
I'm just
you
saying,
gotta do some-
like, dude, fucking, you don't think Justin Bieber would have split ways with him long ago if he was just? He's got tons of stake in the music industry.
Yeah.
And
it's like with any industry though. Like I
But he
think people
did it.
get caught up in the bad too much and they don't see the good. So it's like you have to have some sort of good that's going along with the bad.
and he was
in order to go anywhere, or else people are just going to badmouth you the whole
and
way, and you don't go.
From my
anywhere.
understanding, he's been a talent manager.
Yeah.
He's not like just some behind the scenes label exec who
Wasn't
can
his-
hide behind and do dirty deals or whatever. He's been a talent manager. Who
exactly.
You're dealing with these people like
wasn't
face to
his
face.
first known artist Asher Roth?
I think
believe
so.
so,
It was-
yeah.
yeah.
Pretty sure.
I believe so.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know how that worked out with him, but he like just
Shit, Asher
Yeah, I don't
Roth
know.
is what
rumbled. You know,
most of
he's
I
just.
don't know.
listeners
I
would
feel
say.
like, I
Who?
mean, obviously that's the point of his job as a talent manager, is to find people early and like capitalize off them at a young age, like while they're popping, and then you're kind of on your own. Or I don't know. Like, that's what I'm saying. He could be a complete piece of shit finding these people at really young ages, or like right after they make get their first taste of fame, and then like just grabbing all their rights. I don't know.
I guess
like what we won't know.
I agree with what you guys are saying. Like it could go either way
for sure, or he could be fine.
And we'd have to do more research on these situations to really know. I guess more what I'm getting at than saying he must. I'm definitely not saying he must be a decent dude.
No.
More than that, I guess I'm saying is he's not God. Like he's a talent manager.
Right.
Taylor Swift seems to be acting like this guy is just.
Well,
like,
Taylor Swift bitches about everything.
Yeah. Like, I can't do anything because Scooter Braun. It's like, okay.
This is what happens when you let men around 15-year-olds.
Yeah, like, there's a lot
Like,
of
what?
things going on here, but I don't know. There were even, I'd have to research it more, because people were saying, like, Taylor Swift's dad has stake in the company, and he was aware, and, like, there were other things going on where people were saying, like, Taylor should have been aware of what was going on. So I don't know. But I'd have to do a little more research.
I just think there's way more that goes into that shit than like the knee-jerk reaction of, look who Taylor Swift is now, and she deserves this.
Mhm.
Like, dude, that's way too small of a box to like make these judgment calls on.
Yeah.
Like, you have no, especially, dude. Everyone tends to avoid ignore the company aspect of everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who's to say? Like, we're focusing on two people here. This is a company. Like,
Yeah.
there's tons of people that made Taylor Swift.
And they sold is what
They
happened
sold
to
the company. Yeah, they sold the company. So
like that has a lot of hands in it.
who's in this company looking at this and being like, dude, like,
well,
come on.
Not to mention, I guess, and this is where, I guess this is what I mean by just vilifying people. Okay, if you're Scooter Braun and you buy this company and you have the rights to Taylor Swift's music, are you just so quick to be like, here, Taylor, buy your masters if you know you can make more money by owning them?
But aren't
Right.
they saying that that's why he bought that company?
to get her masters.
To get her masters.
I don't
that
know.
sounds-
She is so massive.
But
I don't
that
know.
to me sounds like an even smarter business.
Yeah, I
decision.
mean, why is that not like
if you can,
acceptable? I
if
don't.
you
The only
can-
thing that wouldn't be acceptable to me is if they were like under the table. Scooter Braun was like, here's however many millions of dollars. I want you to give me this.
If it was if it was dirty,
I want you to give me this record label, because he knew what was in the record label or whatever.
if it was dirty, for sure.
But that's
Well,
the thing. We'll never probably know
and that's
any
like
of that shit.
it's almost like
I feel like that's
like
not very
buying
likely.
shit at the pawn shop. It's like if there's a box and you know that there's like $100,000 stuffed in the box, or like a fucking briefcase or something, and you pay $20 for that shit because you know what's
Are
in
you
it.
grimy or are you just
Exactly,
smart?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
Not to
that's-
mention, I don't think anyone was like. I don't think it was like a hidden thing that Taylor Swift's rights were in this company.
well, and I don't know if you can buy a company like low key on the
Right.
low.
Not that big.
Right.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Not
all right,
that
all
big.
Taylor Swift shit's in here.
Yeah.
Let's just-
So I guess that's what I
Not that
mean. And with interpersonal relationships, who knows? Like maybe Taylor knows that this was like Scooter Braun was trying to fuck her. And I guess I will have her back if Scooter Braun goes and buys this company and then does some things that fuck Taylor Swift over.
They did have some history before this.
I know they did.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, I do know that.
Yeah,
too.
no, yeah, that's what I read.
And
but
so if now that he has the rights, if he does some things with the music that
Right.
fuck her over,
Mhm.
then I'm with her. But for now, it's
But
just
dude-
somebody else owning your music that you never had the rights to it.
Right.
Which
It's
we
a
can
new-
talk about that. That's a whole nother conversation. for
it's
sure.
a new business. Like, but to me, it's like, dude, this company's big, right? Like, this
I would
record label
think
has
so.
to be big.
I would hope so.
They have to have tons of employees.
It's not
right.
like unless Taylor's
would-
on the spec label.
Right. Yeah, I
You know
would
what I'm
I would
saying?
guess so. I don't
You
know.
would guess, right? So what I'm saying is like, dude, this is like, we act like this is like some small thing where I don't like the owner, so I need, like, he needs to give me my rights. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and fuck the whole company then because you want your rights.
Right.
Everybody that made you, we're just gonna fuck over
Yeah, like
because you don't like the owner.
there's a bunch of people eating at this company because
because of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll continue.
But no
to
one
eat.
likes to think about that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's two different perspectives. Because, like, Taylor Swift's thinking there's a bunch of people eating off my music. But you agreed to this, and that's part of the reason
Yeah.
you're Taylor Swift.
I don't
And
see it
that's-
anything to do with the Taylor, like the company movement and her agreeing originally to the deal.
It's the Scooter Braun.
I think it's Scooter. I think the issue is Scooter Braun in particular.
And so
Which
if
is
that's
so
if that's
we need
the case,
deeper dive on the Scooter Braun history between him
and if that's
Taylor
the
Swift.
case, do you agree with me that even given the fact that Scooter Braun is the issue, unless he does some shit, who cares?
Because so if someone else owned her masters, it'd be fine. Is this what we're saying? Is like
No.
is this like
Maybe I don't
like,
know.
Is this kind of like how she's looking at?
Maybe
I don't
not
know.
fine,
you know what I mean?
but like she wouldn't make a big deal.
Exactly.
Out of it.
Right. Yeah.
To go to my point,
It's 'cause
if
it's
you
Scooter
don't like
Braun.
the person, then whatever they do, good or bad,
Right.
it's like
But you could
Because he
say,
might
though,
not do
like,
anything different than someone else would do.
that's what I'm
Right.
saying.
We
Like,
could be like Taylor Swift's part. She could just be using this as an excuse to complain about her current situation.
and try to get him back.
Right.
And I honestly, maybe it's smart. Like once it's out there publicly now, Scooter Braun would be crazy to fuck her over
and I don't
because
see-
attention's
yeah.
gonna be on that shit.
I don't see how, to Taylor's point, I don't see how her complaining about it will be like a bad look for her.
No,
I don't
And
know.
especially in the long run. Like I said, now
Exactly.
she's protected against if he were to fuck her over.
It's giving
on
her-
record now.
It's giving her immediate attention
Yeah.
for like whatever she wants to do, and along with like putting light on the situation itself. But I mean,
But that's the shitty part about being a business owner, though, too, is like we're all speculating on whether or not Scooter Braun is actually a bad guy or not.
all we can go off is what Taylor
Right.
said.
Right, and that's kind of fucked.
Yeah, isn't that and like if
And,
you
and Scooter can't really say anything because he'd be dumb to.
Right.
Like either way, he defends himself or he doesn't. Either way, it looks bad. So he's
Well,
good. He's better to just close
to
his
Q's
mouth.
point about the pawn shop thing. Like a lot of people confuse good business with fucking people over. That being said, a lot of people fuck people over and it results in good business.
Right.
It's tough to figure it out which is which, but they both exist.
yeah,
Right.
it's all subjective for sure.
That's why
All right,
you need to
so-
own all your shit.
Yeah,
if
and
you can.
and that's why we say like
And if you're 15, I hope you got some handlers. I hope your parents are around. If they're not, I hope somebody's with you. You know, to like
Talk to somebody.
to not put you in that situation.
No one fucking knows at 15. I would imagine
By
what
yourself,
music
no.
lawyers.
Fuck no.
No.
But at
No,
least
I
like
know. I'm just
even
saying,
like if
like-
you have like an adult, you could be like,
Yeah.
because it just seems like she's like, this is what happens when you sign at 15. It's like, oh
Yeah,
damn,
that's
you were
a-
by yourself. You went there like 15. He took advantage of you. That's like what it seems like
Right.
with that statement on its
Yeah,
on
that's
its
not-
face.
I don't believe in that statement.
No,
If-
I don't.
if nothing else, I hope this era at least just makes it so that the next generation can't have that excuse as much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there was a whole generation of I got fucked by the label. I got
For
fucked by
sure.
the
And it
label.
was
legit.
it's
We didn't
because
know
a lot of it
anybody.
was
legit.
real.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And now it's kind of like more of an excuse.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I didn't get my way. I'm getting fucked
Yeah.
by the label. And I don't-
Anybody that newly signs to a label and doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, like, dude, we live in the age of Google.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
fucking
Like,
figure it
come
out.
And we live in the age of the internet. Like, create your leverage. Create
Right.
if you're gonna end up bitching on the back end, do it yourself.
Well, that's what I mean, though. You can Google, like, the music business, have 20 million interviews the same way we're talking about record labels right now, and make your own decision to go get a TuneCore
Right.
and not have to bitch about this shit.
Or hire a music lawyer or
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
That's real. Last thing I had on my list, Mo, do you have any thoughts on the Spotify Direct upload failing?
what?
That's like a...
They tried like months back. It didn't even last a year. They rolled out through Spotify where you can directly upload. Like you don't have to go through a TuneCore or whatever. You can just go to your Spotify profile and upload music. And now they're like, anything you've directly uploaded through Spotify, you need to take your code and re-upload through someone else. This is going to end at the end of July. So it didn't really work out for them.
Clear.
And not really, other than maybe like monitoring the rights of the music. I think that was one of the biggest issues.
You know what I think it was? They couldn't get any other stores to sign on to,
Besides distro
besides themselves.
or beside like iTunes and
Right.
okay, yeah.
Because they were like, there was chatter about them possibly integrating all the other stores with their upload process, and that never happened. So,
I mean, I'm not mad at the effort.
no.
Have you guys tried the swipe text yet on your iPhones? So
It's a
tight.
thing.
I think so. I think I just got an article today that it was shit you could do with.
What you know about
someone.
iPhones?
Not shit, but I know I can swipe text, motherfucker. That's what I know.
The beta's out, but
Yo,
it's buggy as shit.
nothing
So.
better than fucking swipe text. That's if you're gonna text, don't text and drive. But if you're gonna do it,
Yeah,
swipe.
it's the only way to text
Seriously.
and drive.
Yeah, because you can do the whole shit without looking. Because you can text like without looking. You know what I mean? But just like this. No homo.
The official version will be out in September, so ask me then.
All right, word.
All right. Episode 80 something probably.
Any last thoughts, boys, before we call it an ep? An Omar ep? A Mike ep?
Did you see what's his name? Myles Garrett
Doing
Browns?
fucking box jumps with 50s.
Oh, that was him?
Yep.
Beast.
Insanity.
And then squatting 675.
What do you
for
think about
a
that?
double? I
Tight.
think that's insane.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
I
I
gotta
can't
double
even
check
hardly
the bags.
like.
I can't shrug 50.
It's pretty tough. It's a good challenge to walk very far with 250-pound dumbbells in your hand, let alone jump on something at all. But he was jumping like on
was
a good
legit.
thing. Yeah.
And then he did it again.
Right. Yeah. But then again,
What do you think about the
this doesn't
squats?
matter. But then again, he's like 200 and what, like 60
He's
pounds
already
probably.
a lot of pounds, yeah.
So, I mean, that's like us doing it with a lower weight, but still, it's
Yeah.
fucking a lot.
That's nuts.
I can't jump very high with 20s in my hands either.
I can't jump very high with nothing in my hand.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
why you shoot.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Feet touching the ground.
Exactly like Brian been doing.
All right,
Well,
that's all I got, boys.
Yo, enjoy day off tomorrow, peeps.
Yep.
I'll probably be at Dag's Lake, uninvited.
You are invited.
Well, then I'll fucking be there.
All right, that's episode 71. We'll see you guys next week. It's been real.
Yay.
Real whack.
Gamit.